Hey everyone, in today's video we'll talk about few more concepts from thread. Why suspend, stop and resume are deprecated in threads, what is join and how it helps in thread coordination, how thread priority works, and what are daemon threads and when should you use them. So grab your pen and paper and let's dive in. Let's start with something that often confuses the developers. Java thread class had few methods like suspend, stop, resume, and we have discussed that in the last session. They sound useful, right? You could pause, resume, or stop a thread directly, but here's why they were deprecated and considered dangerous. Let's say suspend first. So suspend can freeze a thread while it's holding a lock. That means any other thread waiting for that lock would be stuck, leading to a deadlock. Here, in this case, thread 1 acquired the lock thread resource in the shared resource, and thread 2 is waiting for that resource. Now let's say thread 1 gets suspended, so in that case, it did not release the lock from shared resource, and so thread 2 will always be waiting for that resource, right? So this is a deadlock situation. Now, next is resume. So resume was meant to revive the suspended thread, but if you mistakenly call that before suspend method, so in that case, thread remains suspended forever, right? So that was the problem. So once suspend got deprecated, resume also get deprecated. And the last one, that is stop method. So it kills the thread immediately without giving it a chance to release resources or complete important tasks. So this can corrupt a program state, right? So that's why stop is also deprecated. Now let me show you an example and you will get more better understanding there. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, here what I'm doing is sleep. Let me this, then try catch block. Okay, now I have a resource, shared resource, right? Here at first I'm acquiring the lock, and then at the last I'm releasing that lock. So here we have two threads, thread 1 and thread 2. I've added this pause so that thread 2 get executed after thread 1 always. Okay, that's why I've added this pause here. Now let me run this program. How the output looks like. Here thread 1 acquired the lock, right? And then thread 1 will release the lock, and then only thread 2 will acquire the lock. So here thread 2 acquired the lock, and now thread 2 will release the lock. So this is the order of execution, right? Now let's say I am adding thread 1 dot suspend. So I'm suspending the thread. Suspend, right? Okay. Okay. Now, before suspending, I want that thread 1 should start or should acquire the lock, and then only I should suspend the thread, right? So for that, let me add one pause here also. Okay. Now let me run this program. Let's see how it looks. So here you can see, right, that main thread finished the execution. This is the output, but after that it's stuck. There is nothing. So my program is still running, right? No output is coming. So let me add now thread 1 dot resume. Right? Now let me run this program. So in this case, you can see that thread 1 will get resumed and it will release the lock, and then thread 2 will acquire the lock, right? And then thread 2 will release the lock after a second, because there is a 8-second pause. Okay. So this is working fine. But let's say if by mistake I add a resume before suspend. So in that case, it will again be in the waiting state forever, because it's suspended, but I did not resume it. So once suspended got deprecated, resume also get deprecated. Next one is like stop. So let me show you how it looks when I stop thread 1. Okay, here I'm stopping thread 1. Let's see how it looks. So here you can see that thread 1 acquired the lock, and then there is nothing called thread 1 releasing the lock, right? So that might cause an issue for the state of that thread or the resource, right? So that's why this is also deprecated. We cannot we should not stop a thread when it's running. It should stop gracefully, right? So that's why. Okay. So that is what from why suspend, resume, and stop got deprecated in newer version. Now I'll show you, like here I'm using Java 8 version. Now let's say if I use Java 21 version, JDK 21. So in that case, you see that here I'm getting an error. So it is saying that it will throw unsupported operation exception, unsupported operation exception. So if we run this program, you can see that this exception will come always. So we should not use them, right? Now, next, let's understand the join method. So the join method allows one thread to wait for another to finish. It's simple but powerful. Let's say main thread starts a thread 1, and you want main thread to pause until thread 1 is done. So in that case, you just call thread1.join inside the main method. So in this case, we have two threads, right? Now, if I call thread1.join, thread2.join, and let me add a try-catch block. So here you can see, if I run this, how it will look like. So this statement will get printed at last. So thread 2 acquired the lock now, then thread 2 will release the lock, and then this statement will print, right? But if I don't have, let's say I don't have this join, so in that case, how it will look? It will be like, first is this statement is getting executed, right? So main is not waiting for other threads. So it is like, so main is not waiting for other threads, right? Okay. So now moving on, let's talk about thread priority. Each Java thread has a priority between 1 to 10. 1 is minimum and 10 is maximum, and 5 is default. So the idea here is that higher priority threads should get more CPU time, but here's the catch. It's platform dependent. So let's say you want to add a priority for a thread as 10, that is maximum. You won't, your order of execution will not follow that priority. Okay. So let me show you an example here. Let's say thread 1, I'm adding it as priority, set priority. Okay. Let's say I'm adding thread 1 priority as 1, that is minimum. Okay. And thread 2 priority as 10. I'm removing this pause and all. Okay. Now, if I run this program, so accordingly, priority, this is max priority is 10 and min priority is 1, right? And normal priority or default priority is 5. So in this case, thread 2 should run first, then thread 1, right? But that is not the case. Okay, so here it is thread 1 acquired the log at first, but that might not be always true. Okay, if I run it again, let's say here, okay, why it's running? Yeah, now okay, you can see that thread 1 acquired the log first, right? So this is just a suggestion, right? It the platform may not follow it always here. So that's the idea here. So that's why we should not use priority, or we should not depend on priority of thread. So lastly, we'll explore daemon threads. There are few background thread that support the main program. There are something called like garbage collection, or for monitoring purpose, we can run some daemon threads, right? And those daemon thread will not block the program execution. So once, let's say, main program is finished, daemon thread will also exit. So it will not, so main program will not wait for daemon threads. So let's say here I am making thread 2 as daemon thread. Okay, so we need to set it like this: thread 2 as daemon, set thread 2.set daemon as true. Now, if I run this program, you can see that thread 1 acquired the lock, then thread 1 will release the lock, and then program will exit. Thread 2 acquired the lock, but it will not wait for its release, right? So that was the concept of daemon thread. So to wrap up today, avoid deprecated methods like stop, suspend, resume. Use join method to wait for thread completion. Thread priority gives hints, and it do not guarantee program execution or order of execution. Daemon thread run in background and die when main thread are done. So if you learned something new today, please make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos on Java, system design, and more. Got question? Drop them in the comments. I reply to everyone. Until next time, happy coding and stay curious.